Yeah.
Speaking
Yeah,
of cameos, Johnny Depp was in Walking Dead, which is my favorite Walking Dead cameo.
Where?
Season
I think
18?
he might have just literally been a severed head. I'm not sure, but yeah, he was in it.
Okay. That new show came out. I haven't watched it yet. You know, the Rick and Michonne show. That I think the first episode came out. I'll wait till a few are out, but I'll probably get pulled back into that filthy fucking universe that they bastardized just over and over for years. I'm so upset
What
with
went
that
wrong?
show. Do you watch the show?
So I've seen the first like 3 or 4 seasons.
You don't plan to go back?
No, I'm like I'm good. I feel.
Did you get to Negan?
I got out, but I know who he is.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I thought the show was quite good. I didn't like season 2. But other than that, I really liked it up until about a year after Negan. Maybe they fought Negan for too long. Negan was so popular with the fans, I think, that they were like, oh, we can't kill Negan off. Let's figure out how he's going to be part of the tribe forever. And so they have this war with Negan and, you know, Walking Dead does this multiple season per season thing too. That's a bit confusing at times. They have like 2 seasons per year. It felt like for 4 seasons almost, we were at war with Negan or just trying to get Negan. And it's like, man, this isn't sticks and stones and bows and arrows. We all have machine guns. If we were at war with one guy for a year, like I think we'd get him or we'd give up. Yeah. Like it would be over. Somebody would have died. And that gets annoying. It gets to this thing that Sons of Anarchy fell into at times where they're gun runner gang members who have beef with other gun running gang members and the Irish Republican Army is involved, like terrorists and shit. And yet we'll have a big shootout and nobody will get hurt. It's like, dude, that wasn't fisticuffs at a bar. That was a machine gun fight.
Yeah.
That guy threw a grenade. Like one guy genuinely showed up with an RPG one time and it was like nobody got hurt. Like,
everybody just sucks.
Are we talking about Walking Dead still? I'm sorry, my internet seemed to
Yeah.
Zach, can you show that picture? I don't know which one is Johnny Depp. Maybe you guys, I'm terrible.
It's on the right.
It's on the right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, see, normal people can tell.
Yeah, right way.
There we go.
You knew that was Johnny. That doesn't look like Johnny Depp at all, but okay.
It was the only one with his cheekbones.
It's definitely not the one in the middle. I'm just processing.
That's literally my first guess, the middle one.
Oh, shit. Well,
because they were paying attention to it. That's why.
Yeah, it's definitely. Well,
definitely.
What happened to The Walking Dead is they killed off and didn't appreciate their main characters. They're way too talky at times. And also, it's really hard to continue to write a show like that because the whole concept is a bit silly.
It's
how do you get snuck? You can't sneak up on me. All right. Like you can't. I'm like you can't. If you were trying, you couldn't in the woods like that. So how is this shambling thing with cataracts going to ever sneak up on me? We talked about this the other day.
I can't sneak
That's
up on
annoying.
you unless if you're awake. If you're awake, I don't see myself sneaking up on you in any environment. It could be hardwood floors, right? And maybe that's something I could be.
I'm sneaky. I do that to people. Like I'm always like I'm on my toes. Like see, I was always a night owl. And
the back of your toes, you doing that fucking thing?
No, not on the back of my toes. I do that when I want to freak you out. So my legs bend backwards like an alien, and I've got those backwards knees. But no, I get up on the balls of my feet, like up high, and like I'm sneaky. I can be right behind somebody, and they won't know it if I'm on hardwood, especially. I'm fucking like.
I'm the exact opposite. I'm fucking thumpy. You can hear me coming. Like if you're 2 rooms away and I'm just bumping my way over to you, people Colin's like, "Hey, Dad." He knows it's me. I'm not in the room yet. I'm not even in the room next to the room yet, but he heard me.
I think the issue with I guess The Walking Dead or any zombie show, like zombies are the worst concept in horror because like if you just think about it, just stay somewhere. Like if there's a zombie outbreak, some weird thing happened and people were dead, but they're like walking around and eating brains. Like just wait for like a week, just hang out. That's it. And it all blows over. These are rotting bags of meat and they're just walking through the woods. Animals don't exist anymore. What do they have? A metabolism? They need to eat, right? They need to convert energy into something. Do they poop? Where does it go? Like, it's just like, what happens to all the, like, it makes no sense unless you're just saying now it's magic. If it's just magic, then it doesn't matter.
It's
they
literally
don't have
magic in The Walking
it doesn't
Dead.
make sense otherwise.
It's magic in The Walking Dead. There's the crazies from 28 Days Later.
Those are fucked up. Yeah, for sure.
That's very scary.
Problem.
And then there are those cordyceps people from the very recent The Last of Us, where you have the fungus sort of zombie parasite puppeting. But then it's like, how are they being sustained? Like maybe you could talk me into that somehow by saying now they're part fungi and they're like their metabolisms absorb nutrients from the corpses that they kill. Like maybe that's how they work now. Maybe I'll even believe some sci-fi like that.
Even then,
but Walking Dead doesn't even give you that. There's a scene in season 1, I think, where they meet they go to the CDC in Atlanta.
CDC,
they talk. It's like, man, you're popping your cherry early with CDC. Like, this is how the virus works with like a fucking CGI overlay and everything. That should have been season 10 shit.
Yeah, it's like, really? It's been 3 days and most of your guys are dead.
We got to the bottom of it, Carl. Let's just blow our fucking brains out. That's what really happened.
Yeah,
dude. It's over.
There was in that, I don't know if it was season 1 or 2, it might have been 1, but they really nailed it. They go to the CDC. There's a doctor there, and he has this like unknown plan to kill all of us, this rich group of survivors. And he thinks he's doing them a favor. He thinks he's saving their life. And right before the big explosion that takes out the doctor, but our heroes get away, he's like, there'll be a time when you remember this and you'll wish you were here with me. Like something close to that. And it's like, fuck. And then later on, they like called back to it when Negan like was dominating them and taking them, killing a couple of them and just basically abusing them. And it was like, fuck yeah, death is better.
That's the name of the episode. There'll be a time.
Oh, really?
I mean, but they didn't ever really look back on it that way, did they? Because every second of it, they were yearning to life, desperately trying to survive. That doctor was a murderer who was trying to take a bunch of people with him.
That's true.
Killing.
A well-intended murderer.
Mercy killing, baby. That's a terrible. But you're right.
I wish he'd done it, and that fucking show would have been done.
It was good in 1 season. That's it.
It's good in 1 season, man.
No, I think if there's not 13 seasons overall, I bet there's 12, and I bet there are 4 good ones.
That's
it would work if
that show was brutal.
It could work if they were like technically still alive, or if they're reanimated, but they have to eat. Like if they were eating something all the time, like that would make sense. But they're just standing
do they poop?
There.
Like
they would need to be shitting all the time. I always wonder
all the time.
You know what I always think about is like, what's the consistency of a vampire's shits? It must be horrendous,
like a baby.
Yes.
No, he just shits blood, right? Like
no, it's processed, right?
Yeah,
like
so it'd be like
if I gave you a milkshake, you wouldn't shit ice cream.
If you only fed me milkshakes, though, the consistency of my booze would be very liquidy, I think.
I'm not sure. It's dairy, right?
Well, there's only one way to find out.
We did learn though from
30 days all dairy. Come on,
that blood is like the ultimate protein shake. Remember, we looked that up, like the amount of protein in like 20 ounces of blood, and it's bananas. Blows the pants off of anything on the market, but you need a lot of blood, to drink.
That's why my playing days are down under every month.
So, I mean,
like Jack vampires.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, they're always very svelte.
Like I won't watch any show that's not over already. Like that I know that like, all right, this has come to a conclusion and it's satisfying for most people. Like even Game of Thrones, when I watched it, I knew it was over and people had a problem with it, but I'm like, I'll give it a shot because people, enjoy the story up until a certain point. But if a show is like, all right, this is really good, it's in season 1, I'm like, if they start going off the rails in season 5 and they're like, hey, by the way, we're interdimensional pansexual beings, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Game of Thrones is better on rewatch. It's way better on rewatch.
We got it. I get into them. I get into them early. I like to see what's up. If there's more, the more episodes that are out, the better, of course. But we started watching a show maybe 9 months ago called From, and I don't know. I don't know how. We're all upset at me about it. I think it's basically it would seem that this group of people are stuck in sort of a pocket universe in this little shitty town. And if you try to drive down the road, you just end up right back where you are, Twilight Zone style. And at night, ghoulish, ghostly people beings come out and they eviscerate you unless you have a talisman on your door. And the main character is it's the black guy from Lost. If you ever watched Lost, it's that guy. And he was formerly law enforcement, so he kind of falls into that role. And he's also got a piece, so he can lay some justice down if he needs to and whip some ass. And they're just all stuck there, living this existence, stuck in this. They're like, and every now and then somebody new shows up, and they're like, "Oh no, here we go." Like, we have to explain to these people that A, your lives are over and you're stuck in this like town for the rest of your lives, and B, you have to get inside and put a talisman over your door because there's ghouls coming to get you.
Yeah.
And people will be like, "Fuck you, I'm calling my agent." And it's like, we got to get this guy to get inside. And I'm thinking, like, let him eat him and then we'll have his luggage.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm wanting to add another mouth to this like potato garden that will not support me. Like, I love taters.
So there's this show on Netflix called Beef. Have you guys seen it?
No, I haven't.
Is that the cooking show?
No. So it is I guess it's a drama, but it's a sort of a dark comedy. So it's with Ali Wong, the female comedian. And it's the guy from Walking Dead, the Asian guy from Walking Dead. And they're both, in like, she's Japanese, he's Korean. And it just follows their lives as they interact with each other. Like, it all starts off with, some road rage incident. Like, he's coming out of a parking spot and she like almost backs into him or something like that. And then she lays on the horn, gives him the finger. And then that starts a whole road rage thing where he's like coming after her, and they go over this lawn, and then they get captured on camera, and then it balloons out of proportion to the point where they're like ruining each other's lives because they're so like petty and their own lives are falling apart. It is one of the best shows I've ever seen. And in that one season, I think they're going to have 2 or 3 more seasons, but in that one season, you feel so satisfied with all the storyline elements, and it's very well done. Like, it's well acted. It's funny. It's like, it's heartfelt. And at the end, it's like, it gets pretty philosophical about like, hey, what are we really fighting about? Or what do we want in life?
I think the biggest problem with modern television is that, so we had this time when a show like Law and Order or Star Trek always comes to my mind. They did 22 episodes a season, sometimes 24 or more episodes a season. And then we started getting these streaming shows like House of Cards, and it was like, it's a limited series. They only do 8 or 10 episodes a year, but they're primo. They're the best. They're like miniature movies. And look, it's A-list actors. Those are the actors you'd go to see a movie in. And then everybody just said, yeah, we're all limited series. And it's like, no, you're not. You're McDonald's. You're McDonald's. Go back to the dollar menu. I want 24 good episodes. You're not good enough to give me 8 primo episodes. That's not your wheelhouse. That's for those artistes over there who make like True Detectives and The Wire and shit like that. These little gems that we collect and watch every decade. Like, not you. And everything became that. Everything's 8 or 10 episodes, and then you get nowhere. You get no fucking where in the storyline. You're always spinning wheels, doing nothing, trying to get signed on, and everybody wants to get paid in season 3 or something. But now they're all fat and old. God damn it.
You're really right. I was starting to think that 10 episodes was kind of enough, but the story arc of a 10-episode season is pretty limited.
Star Trek was 22 fucking episodes. They went on some adventures, Woody. They went on some fucking adventures. Picard did all sorts of shit. Like, that's why 10. I think
each story stood on its own, though.
Yeah, those are long episodes as well in some cases. That I appreciate that but then when you start giving me like these, it's 38 minutes this week, and 4 minutes of that is like, wait a minute, this is just I wanted an hour and 10 or hour and 20. Give me a big episode. I like that. I appreciate the content.